All right, welcome back to the Beast Game Podcast. This is a review for The Girl in the Spider's Web, which is along the lines of The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo series. The characters from the first movie, the David Fincher, I guess it was 2010, 2011 Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, still plays into that movie, just with a totally different cast, totally different director, based on the original movies and story, whatever the heck it's called, Men Who Hate Women, something like that. And it's directed by Fede Alvarez. The writers are Jay Basu and Fede Alvarez, and it's created by Stig Larsson, who wrote the original book. And it stars everybody's favorite, Claire Foy. She's been in a lot of stuff recently. She's Queen Elizabeth on The Queen, or at least for the first two seasons. She was most recently in First Man. Lakeith Stanfield's in this movie. Why, I don't know, but again, has nothing to do with the David Fincher movie, except for the characters and Elizabeth Slander, Mikhail Blomkvist, the arc that the characters have. What happens is that there's a scene of two female children playing chess, knocks over a chess piece, and there's a spider that crawls out. The girls get called in to the room by their father. He starts saying like some creepy stuff. It's assumed that he was going to molest one of the children, and the daughter that is Elizabeth runs out of the room, jumps out of a window into the snow, and disappears. So she never sees her family again. And then, again, what happened in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that stuff happens. So then you meet up Elizabeth post Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. You kind of get some exposition. There's some audio clips of, hey, well, someone's been hacking into stuff, and this person has been helping women. So there's a scene in the trailer where a woman's getting beat up by her husband. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo shows up, extorts him, tells the woman to leave him. You see Mikhail Blomkvist, who was played by Daniel Craig in the first movie and some random dude in this movie. There's a magazine takeover. It's kind of being turned into a millennial magazine. The magazine in the movie is called Millennium. She wakes up next to another female. She starts talking about a sister, said the sister kills herself. A person contacts her with a job. So right now she is a hacker. There's a guy named Franz Balder that contacts her for a job. He wants her to steal a piece of software that he created and sold to the U.S. government because he believes that the U.S. government is going to do something evil with it. So even though he sold it to them, he wants it back. She attempts to go steal the software back. And in the process, Lakeith Stanfield, who works for the NSA in this movie, he's a NSA hacker, notices this happening while he's in a meeting, runs to his desk, tries to stop it. Then he tries to shut down the servers, but she was successful. Well, she's the world's most smartest dumb hacker because he was able to trace her back through IP addresses, all the hops that it would take to have found her. Unknown third party that breaks into her apartment to steal the software because they know that she got it, and they burn it to the ground. That's kind of where I'll stop. Similar characters, different arc for some of these characters, but was just boring. And if have played video games such as Watch Dogs, this is Watch Dogs with the twist of The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo. So the main thing for the first movie, the biggest part about it, other than David Fincher's brilliance, is the story was just very creepy. It turns into murder mystery, thriller, suspense movie. It takes a very sharp turn, which I can understand why Fede Alvarez was asked to direct this one, because that David Fincher one, the later third of the movie, goes in a very dark route, and this one does not do that. And this one is just more a paint-by-numbers cyber thriller. Unknown third party is trying to foil Elizabeth, and she decides to go hunt them. And that's really the arc of the story. And then Michael gets involved because she needs his help going undercover. The whole point of this, the third party in this whole movie, was actually her sister. At the beginning of the movie, there's a child scene, and the person that she's playing with is her sister. It turns out her sister did not go crazy. She took over her father's business. Her father was, I don't know, like a mobster, black arms dealer, or something like that. And she took over his business and then decided to, this day, try to take over the Project Firefall software. Her sister was also working with the CIA, NSA, FBI equivalent in Sweden, and then double-crossed them, and then double-crossed Elizabeth. Situation where everyone is tracking somebody somehow. The twist is the sister being the villain, that she didn't know the sister was still alive or didn't care. The big arc of the movie is that Elizabeth goes raid style into the house that she grew up in to try to kill these people. And Lakeith Stanfield is there, and some other hacker, and Mikhail Blomkvist, and also the son of the programmer that built that software. So he has some form of autism where he's very brilliant and he understands numbers. So the whole point of this movie was not just the software, but it was also kidnap the son, because the son is the password for the software. Because it's like some two-factor authentication. It needs a password, and then it's all in anagrams, and that's how he knows what the password is. And they kidnap him. Again, getting back to the end of the movie. And at the end of the movie, screamed out loud, "Please don't let this happen." The sisters have a fight running through the snow. And the one sister is running through the snow in heels. And she runs up to a cliff. And then they have this exposition about, why didn't you love me? Why did you leave me? Then I forgot what Elizabeth said, but she said something that the sister didn't like, and the sister just fell off the cliff. This is the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Wait. Is it okay? I just have one question. Would you watch this, or would you watch Oriental Express? Murder on the Oriental Express.
Oh God! Oh man! Would say that this is competently directed. Fede Alvarez is a good director. This is a stinker for him. This is one of the things that he should never really say that he directed. I would watch this again. I believe I gave Oriental Express a 0. That movie deserves a 0. It will always be a 0 because that movie sucks.
Wait, did I give it like a negative something?
Yeah, I think you did give it a negative, Keith. This one, I want to give it a 2.5. It looks good. Claire Foy is probably the best part about this. Lakeith Stanfield, I don't even know why he's in the movie. The arc of the book, the characters are from the book. I guess it deviates from the book story, but the whole point of the movie is that Elizabeth is a hacker. She's asked to steal the software back from the U.S. government. Lakeith Stanfield works for the NSA. Her sister's group also intercepts Elizabeth trying to steal all this, and then they also want to kidnap the son of the programmer because he is the password. What you have is almost 2 hours of watchdogs. Hey, do you want to see somebody hack a car? Open up doors, and they're literally locking doors like you would in Watch Dogs. It's like, I won't let you out of this room until you answer my question, and I tap this button on my phone. That is what's happening in this movie. There's cameras everywhere. Because how would you get caught? Garbage material. Fede Alvarez. I don't know what happened, but don't do this again. You guys have any questions?
Hell no.
You answered my question. You've answered my question there.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Movie to be done without Nomi Rapace anyway.
Yeah, I mean, almost 6-7 years later, when nobody's really asking for this movie.
Who was the one that did the American one? What?
David Fincher.
What's her name? Rooney? Something like that? Mina Rooney?
Yeah.
Rooney Mara.
Or something.
Who did a good job. I mean, again, that American version of this movie is brilliant. It's David Fincher, Rooney Mara, Daniel Craig. Those three make that movie. One of the Skarsgårds, like, that is that movie. And it's creepy. I'll pull this from James. The tone is creepy. But this one, it's just a cyber thriller done very poorly. And I think a lot of it had to do with the script. I'm not sure if there's any controversy behind the script or if somebody's been fired, but there's several credits on the script other than J.P. Sue and Fede Alvarez.
Well, I know they were trying to make the sequel to The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
I know they were trying to follow it up, but I don't know what the hell. Something was wrong.
Well, because this book...
Was it a book? I thought this was
this is based off of a book. And it's the book is, I guess, Stieg Larsson died, something like that. And then it was written by a third party, kind of written in his voice. So I think it was only those first books that Stieg Larsson wrote. But yeah, this movie's stupid. Don't see it. Chose this over going to go see Overlord, and I really made a mistake.
Damn, man.
That's the Beast Game Podcast. I don't want to say any more things about this movie.